Okay everybody, this video here is going to be short because I didn't video me rebuilding the carb. This is Jerod's 2007 Suzuki Ozark 250 quad runner, and after he got his side-by-side, he rode it a few times but started using the side-by-side more and more. Kept it here at my house, and of course I've got a Bayou 250 sitting right there. That's mine, and just didn't get ridden, and it had gas in it. Emergency brake, or the parking brake, was set on it. I'd started it up a few times, rode around here in the yard. I think Big Al used it once when we went over to do something, but for the past maybe 3-4 years this thing is set, and you're going to see some still pictures of what the carburetor looked like after I took it off. And I'll have clips in here with a little bit of explanation, video clips. These are clips I sent Jerod. But I tore that carburetor off, worked on the back of my truck, completely disassembled it, went through 2 cans of carburetor cleaner. The first can basically was used to bath everything. You can see in that one still photo how bad, or the one that's coming up here next, of how bad the bowl of carburetor was. I drained the gas out of the tank, and it was enough to about halfway fill up. It must have had about 1.5 gallons gas still left in it, but it was water and gas mixed, I guess just from setting and condensation or whatever. The carburetor, I drained that, and I let everything dry out. Then I put fresh gas in the tank and tried to start it, because we changed the plug, because it had the original plug since 2007. It's still run good with that original plug, but we changed the plug, and it just wouldn't start, wouldn't even hit. And I checked the plug for fire, it was getting fire. And then I tried to open up the bowl drain on the carburetor again, and I opened it up, nothing come out, so it wasn't getting any gas in it. So drained the tank again, and pulled the carburetor off and went to rebuild it. I cleaned all the jets and everything. I thought I cleaned all the jets. I put the carburetor on, and in the video you'll see after this, got it started, was idling way too fast, tried to work the throttle, and it just quit. So I tried to choke it, tried to start it, wouldn't start. Didn't choke it, started it up, but again, trying to throttle, it died. So here last week, I pulled the carburetor off again, took it apart. What was left of carb cleaner I had in a can, I pulled the jets back out, and I had one that I thought was stopped up. I went ahead and worked on it and worked on it. Finally, I got cleaner to go through it, put it all back together, brought the carburetor back out, and you'll see in these other clips after this video that it started. I adjusted the idle on it, and it runs great. I gave it the four-wheeler a bath. It needed a bath from being out here setting, and I'll show you right now. Well, I think it's in gear, but let's see, it's on. So there it is, idling, without even having to choke it. Now, we found out that after I got everything running, it wouldn't go in reverse, wouldn't go forward. It would go in the gears, but it wouldn't move. It wouldn't back up, wouldn't go forward. And it ended up being the rear brake on this thing. It had sat a while with the parking brake set, which is your rear drum shoes. It's got front disc brakes, hydraulic, and rear drum brakes, cable. And so I spent an hour and a half getting the drum off. The brake linings had actually stuck to the drum. Here's one of the shoes, and there is no lining left on it. It was on the drum. Here's the other shoe. This was the upper shoe. Still has lining, but part of it broke off, stuck to the drum. So there's going to be a picture of the drum. You'll see the lining stuck to it. I had to take a screwdriver and actually chip that lining away. And right now it doesn't have rear brakes. It's got front brakes, and they're good. But Jerod's supposed to order rear brakes for it, and I'll put them on. And then he'll have his four-wheeler running to where he can use it. So they've been great. I bought that one for him, like I said, in 2007. That's a 2007 Suzuki Ozark quad runner. It had just been uncrated. And then I bought this Kawasaki Bayou 250. Now it's a 2006, but I bought it in 2007. That's when we got these. I just put new tires on the front. It still had the original tires on the front. I did put a winch on it. I done a review. Of course, you can tell that winch is kind of not setting flat. I used the winch. I made the plate for it, and I didn't use thick enough steel, and so I got to take that winch back off, get a thicker piece of steel and put in there. But the Bayou 250 has been a great four-wheeler. The Suzuki, Jerod just bought new tires for it back last fall. We got them on this spring. So his original tires lasted, I'm going to say about 10 years, 10, 11 years. And they started to dry rot. And that's the reason why I got new ones on it. The rear tires on my Bayou were given to me, a year or two after I got it. Those aren't the original rear tires, but they're great. The original rear tires are in my storage building. They hardly are worn at all, but this had better tread for getting in and out of the mud. But this video is going to be, like I said, there's going to be some still pictures and little short clips of videos I took and sent to Jerod on Facebook Messenger while I was working on it. But I wanted to share this video, especially the pictures of the carb, which I've shared on the community section of the YouTube channel. But this is what ethanol gas will do to your small engines if you leave that gas in there for very, very long. My lawnmowers, my weed eaters, I try to run all the gas out of them as the season ends, so they're not stored with it. I guess you could use sea foam or whatever to store them, but I think it'd be better, at 10% ethanol in your gasoline. For small engines, it's not good. Maybe big engines is fine, because you're driving your vehicles all the time and everything, and always getting gas every week or 2 weeks. But you just don't want it to be sitting around. So with that, you'll see the rest of these clips. There'll be some little text here and there. So appreciate you watching. All right, folks, I'm back. This is my 2007 5x8 utility trailer for my Bayou 250. And some may notice that the tongue might be just a little bit longer than what they came standard. Of course, I have put a jack on the front of it, one of those that collapses or folds over. But I got this that fall after I got mine and Jerod's four-wheelers. But you'll also notice I've put tie downs on it. It used to be what we done was just come down here and hook into it with the ratchet strap to hold the four-wheeler in. But I decided I wanted some tie downs, so I mounted those in there. But let me get you guys out of the sun. What had happened, and I hate ratting out on Big Al, but what had happened, he needed to borrow the trailer one year, and I let him borrow it. And when he brought it back home, he told me that somebody had rear-ended him. Well, the tongue was bent. One of the hinge pins, well, not hinge pins, but latch pins that holds the gate up, was broke. So there was the tongue issue, there was the latch pin there, and of course the gate was bent. I took a sledgehammer, beat it out the best I could, but Big Al, he paid for the replacement parts, got the new steel for the tongue, got a new hitch on the end of it. Of course, the steel was longer than what I needed, so I measured. I must not have measured twice, because it's just a little bit longer than what the original one was on it. But I got on there and it works fine. But over time, though, I had a hinge break, and I'd been sticking a 4x4 post under it whenever I'd lower the gate, and used it that way for several years. And I decided to go ahead and order some hinges, so I ordered some hinges for it. And you'll see some still photos. I didn't do any videoing of me repairing it. I cut off the old hinges, both of them. I'm gonna replace both of them. And the hinges I got were somewhat larger diameter than the ones that was on it. And since I'd gotten that flux core welder, I thought, well, I can probably weld this myself. And that's what I did. And you'll see in the still photos pictures, but I'm going to show you now. Let me pull the pin. And I'm sorry if I end up getting the camera out of focus or whatever. But I'm laying the gate down. There's already leaves in here, grass from where I cut it. But there's the hinge, and I'm standing on the gate right now. Here's the other hinge, and they both have grease fittings. And I put this on here, the old hinges, you couldn't take the gate off. So I have this welded on here to where I can actually undo the locking pins, and I can slide this hinge off, or this gate off. And they're all greased up, and I will make sure I keep these greased, and it's easy to go back up. Got that pin in, and there's that pin. Now I am going to put new lights. I've already got them, I just need to get them put on. I bought this at United Cycle. I've had to replace the tires on it. The original ones that was on it, they ended up dry rotting, so I bought new tires. The only problem was when I bought them, one place had this style rim and the other place had this style rim. So the trailer is ready for me to haul my four-wheeler or Jerod's. We actually hauled his lawnmower on it, so I know my welding job worked because we went and picked up his lawnmower, took it down to his mother-in-law's, lowered the gate, unloaded the lawnmower, so it's working fine. You'll notice there's boards around the sides, and I put that on there because I had intended, I just never have taken them off, I have intended to go get a load of gravel. But see, there's the tongue. Like I said, it's a little bit longer than what it was. I would like to make an A configuration on this trailer, but I don't know if I ever get that done. So all in all, I mean, that's been a good trailer. Like I said, bought in 2007. It's a 2007 model. I still have the original wheels if I want to buy tires. In fact, don't look at my mess over there at my building. There's one of the original wheels. The other one's in the backyard. That one is the worst one on dry rot. The other one didn't seem to be dry rotted at all, and I was keeping it for a spare. I need to build me either build me one or buy a spare tire holder to put on it. But it's been a good trailer. It's went through a lot. I've used it to haul firewood and the grill up to deer camp there at the bus. So you'll see some still photos of the welding that I've done, and it'll be it. That's it for the video on the Jerod Suzuki and my four-wheeler trailer. Appreciate you watching J&J True Outdoor Adventures. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share our videos, and we'll see you on the next video.